Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Deeply Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deeply Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 384. Today is Saturday, September 18th, 2021. I'm glad you could join me today. Oh well, whatever. It's okay. I am, what it be today is not as much a fibery day as I was secretly hoping for. Water maybe is falling from the sky in the form of very sporadic drizzle. Would it be? And I was hoping to finish the brioche square, but it is not happening before I podcast. Just had to take the moment and accept that it wasn't going to happen. So, in exciting news, my in-laws are coming to visit next week, which means that the next day or so will be very busy making sure the way is clear and everything is good to go for their visit. I don't know how much putting away of stuff that's going to end up entailing, but one of the knock-on effects of that was that it became clear this week in my first week in my new job that I needed my home office location to change. And I think this room would have been the best one, but this is also the guest bedroom. So I could not set up my home office here. So this means I am building an IKEA desk in the bedroom right now. And so it'll be fine. But I was like looking and like, you know what I would like is, would it be? This is just sort of a gloomy day today. No, decent amount of that diffuse foggy light we all love. But it was like, yeah, no, I should probably podcast before we get to the time of awkwardness. So, move my chair back. I'll probably move it back there after I'm done. There may not be an episode next week because, what would it be? It'll probably be busy knitting times in addition to whatever else happens. Whatever. But yeah, no, I'm definitely in the middle of a row right now because that's apparently where I'm at. But I am almost done. So the one downside, I'm almost done with this row, so that's fine. So the downside to these growing types of patterns is that you're not really able to use every last drop. So I've been weighing this fairly regularly in order to keep track of where I am on the project and do I have enough yarn to knit another repeat. And because there's an awful lot of corporate training of all sorts of types, there was plenty of time to knit this week, which was very exciting. So I managed to get a ton of progress on this to the point where, would it be? I bet I will be binding off today. Unless I'm spending all day cleaning, in which case I will bet I'll be binding off tomorrow. So it's very close, guys. It's very exciting. What was it? I think, would it be? This also, for where I end up holding this project on, there ends up being like a really good way of showcasing how I knit. So that was entertaining, it turned out. I had surprised someone last night that I do throw. that I am not a speed demon continental knitter. I am apparently a speed demon thrower for whatever reason. And we're almost together, so it shouldn't be too long. So this is Sizzle Pop. I am knitting the square version of the pattern, and this is by Leslie Ann Robinson. And so she is a brioche designer out of Galveston, Texas. And I am knitting this out of Lomisa DK in an overdyed version of Mouse or Feldmouse. I wanted to buy Mouse Young for a sweater, and I bought the brown mouse instead. And I overdyed it with black cherry Kool-Aid and ice blue lemonade, or ice blue raspberry lemonade, or whatever. This final skein is, what would it be? Not as blue as the subsequent ones are, but it's fine. I don't care. So, and, oh yeah, you can totally see that on the screen. So the color is more red on this skein. There are also some like sort of crunchy bits in the yarn. I don't know if that's because there's like remaining Kool-Aid. I didn't wash it enough, or if it's something else going on. Or would it be? I don't think I damaged it, but there's definitely some stiff spots in this one. So not too crazy. But yeah, no, you can definitely see the color difference here. But basically what this boils down to is that this outer two sides of the square are just going to be a little bit lighter, and that's a-okay. I started with 591 grams of yarn, so I started with my smallest 15-gram ball, moved to a 90 or 100 gram ball, and then I had two 220s that I'm finishing it off. And this final ball isn't gonna give me a whole lot of repeats, because would it be, the rows are long, the repeats are long. So when I started weighing, I was about 40 grams per pattern repeat. I'm now up to 50. I think this last one will be like 52 and a half. So this like little triangle section in here is about 2.5 grams of yarn per repeat. Just keep adding it to the pile. So when I last weighed this, I was at 74 remaining, and what would it be? So that means that I'd only have enough yarn for about half a repeat, which would look awkward. So after I finish this repeat, I'll weigh, verify that there's definitely not enough yarn to do another repeat, and then bind off. So it should be good. Would it be? So this is the right side. Well, no, this is the right side. The other side's the wrong side, but they both look very good. So effectively reversible. But I will be done soon. So this ball of yarn used to be about as big as my face, and it's now fairly cute and wee. With that row I just finished, I have probably 5 more to go before I do the weigh. And I think that was, well, I have 5 more doing the long side of the square before I'm done. But yeah, so that is very exciting. I don't think I was expecting to finish this one first, but I am glad that, would it be, because it was a big project. What this probably means is that for FO point prize winning maximization, I don't know. I don't know how many things it'll count for the Bay Area Fiber Fair, but that's the only thing I think I can enter it in. The last date to enter is the 23rd. Should be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. Let's see what else. But so you know how like last week it seemed like I had managed to knit quite a lot of this. So here, right down here, where my finger is the marker. And from last week, so I knit all the way up to here. There we go, the marker. Little marker, I made it all the way to here. And so I managed to do quite a few repeats this week. So probably 3, almost 4 repeats this week. So I guess I maybe hadn't yet or had very recently changed colors, looking at sort of the break in the yarn. So it's looking good. So I might even have time to wash and block this bad boy before the next episode, so that would also be festive as well. So if I stretch it, it's about if I stretch a little bit, it is actually about my wingspan. So this is actually pretty monstrous, all things considered. And you can definitely see, or whatever, you can definitely see how one of those skeins was much darker than the others, but that's fine. I've been doing Russian joins to connect, and they're little yarn ends sticking out there, so I don't know if I'll just leave them in a little bit or what. Not too worried about it. But despite the rows being really long, I guess I have knit about 150 grams on this project this week, which is a lot. Part of that just has to do with lots of training time. It's probably most of it. Because you gotta do something to make it through some of that stuff. So, let's see. Anything else? I don't know. So I believe that this ended up getting most of the knitting love this week. And yeah, it's a little bit crowded now in the needle at the very end, but I was using my long cable. But yeah, no, almost there. So close. So close, but not quite. Oh, yarn. So, whatever. So, I will have used a pretty significant amount of this. But I don't know if I'll end up doing something with the leftovers as well. I do have some more of the color I actually intended to buy. In the stash, so I don't know if I'll end up doing something with that to finish it off. I'm not sure where my mind is at the moment. I'm not sure where my mind is at the moment on that question. There's so much of my hair everywhere. I will need to do a bit of a cleanup and tidy up of this room, probably sometime today. So what I probably should do, but won't do until next week, maybe I'll actually do it, that'll be fine. So what I should do is, put markers in this guy, but I suspect this sweater is not too much longer left to work on, because the knitting is so easy. I can anticipate a future in which this comes together pretty quickly. So this is my Peen Tone, which is Claudia Eisenklubb pattern that I am knitting out of Shibui Knits Reed in the Shore, Pollen, and Royal colors. And I have not yet finished knitting my first ball of Royal. I am in the midst of the waist decreases, so things are looking really good for this to be as long as I hope it would be. I might have done more waist decreases than the pattern asks for, but I haven't tried it on lately to figure out if it is falling in a sensible location or not. But this didn't end up getting a ton of love this week, it just got a little bit of love, which is why putting in sort of a marker to keep track of progress would be nice. But we're definitely almost out of this first ball, so that should be good. I'm past the halfway point. This means, would it be? There was a concern because I think I ended up buying the amount of yarn I needed to make the medium of the pattern, and then I opted to make the size large of the pattern. So I was a little bit concerned that I'd have to do more extreme things in order to make this the length that I would want. And it may turn out that I need to do that anyway. That's a distinct possibility. We'll just do like a quick, yeah, I don't know. I might end up needing to reuse some of the other colors. Not that I would be. It's not like there's like a shortage of the other colors. Like I could definitely finish this off with like a band of yellow on it and call it a day. Would it be some? I didn't like those versions as much as like these big bold color blocks, but that might need to be what I do if I do want it to be as long as I like it. Would it be? I didn't realize I had inadvertently selected a sweater from Team Crop. Oh no, it doesn't help that there aren't pictures in the pattern of people wearing it. Sometimes you just need to see it on a He-Man wearing clothing. Oh well. So, that is the story there. It will probably get a lot of love and attention. I don't know if it'll, or what it be. It just sort of depends on how everything ends up shaking out. There we go. Man, I don't have any reason to be like, meh. Or would it be? So I might end up having another color block on there, but that would be the end of the world. Would it be? I'll get close to the end of the purple and probably evaluate from there on what exactly it is I want to do. At this point, it's mostly finished, so would it be? No, I think, or would it be? So it'd be the case where would it be? Just have to be sort of open-minded with that. It's not like it's super exciting knitting. It's some sort of knitting which, what would it be? You're pretty free in terms of what you can use to entertain yourself. So I don't know if it'd be the case where that tremendous block of progress you saw on the other shawl will just translate to me being able to power through and finish, this guy next week too, in which case I will have a blank slate of Knitting Delight. That would be cool. It is quite likely that, I'm going, like, what's top of my list right at this moment is small projects, specifically hats. So that's where my mind is at right now. The replacement for the winter hat is lost. It has been lost since July. I should make myself a replacement hat. I will not, I think I've worked through my feelings. And the replacement for the winter hat does not need to be the exact same colorway again. Though I could, really liked it. It was really fun and festive, but I think I'm going to use a different. I think I'm going to use the fiber optic braid I finished earlier this summer. Is it still this summer? Yeah. We're not to fall quite yet. I will use that one to do the replacement hat, and I need to just have like a brief think about, or basically reverse engineer the pattern. Excuse me, because I do not want to leave any of that blue yarn behind. So it means thinking about how to modify the tense field pattern so that it's the Langsfield pattern, Langsfeld or field or whatever, without buying the Langsfield pattern. It should be fine. And then I want to knit another fog hat, and I already have the yarn out for that. I have another project I wanted to start as well. Still on the secret list. Hopefully secrets will come to an end soon. So what would it be? So that's like 3 small projects I would like to do right away, 2 of which are hand spun. I may actually reknit my original fog hat because in the using of it, it is clear that I knit too large a size. But my mother-in-law asked about it, so I'll have her try it on, and if she likes it, she can keep it. And then I will knit the smaller size with the yarn I recently spun that has more contrast with my white, because it took 2 ounces of the darker color and 1 ounce of the lighter color, so should be good. Now that we're so deep in, where would it be? So in San Francisco, the hot weather doesn't come till September, October. It's looking promising. It's going to be 77 later this week. It's very exciting after a lot of 57 and foggy. But like I started this project because I was thinking it was going to be hot and I wouldn't want a wool sweater, but the fog isn't going to leave till I finish this sweater, so I need to finish it. But maybe I will invite the fog to stay by keeping, by knitting a hat in homage to the fog. And what would it be? And now that my new job is strictly work from home till January, I do not have as many excuses to visit the sunshine as I did before. So I know that means I need to go on day trips to places where it's not foggy, which means heading east somewhere, north, south, whatever. But who knows? I don't. It is unclear. So we shall see where that's going. And then after I knit those small projects, there we go. It's just Trail City, isn't it? then I will contemplate if I'm going to start a big project. But I want to, oh, that was the other thing that I was going to lose on, running a Cal in the softeners group, and maybe I should cast on the project. So I think the contender right now is I'm going to do my Three Waters Farm opposing ply mega elastics game for that. I've been really happy so far with how my Southern Cross Fiber BFL opposing ply socks are holding up. So I think I want to knit that up, and then we'll see how far I end up getting. I would also like to knit up a cable as socks, or as a handspun socks. And so that's just a part of like my own discovery process of figuring out how can I spin for some really good sock yarn. And I have 3 very gorgeous cable yarns. So there's plenty of samples in order to test further. So actually one of them is the color scheme very similar to this, so that might be why I'm leaning towards my my Miami colored scheme, as you do. So on the spinning, I don't even remember if I got anything done on the spinning front this week. I was primarily focused on blanket, but would it be, so I have my knotted bag full of balls of fiber, but I don't think I've picked and spun another one of these guys this week. It looks like the one I just pulled had a lot more teal, so I'll pick one with less teals next. The one that's right on the top is on the more teal end of the spectrum, but I know what would it be? It'd be the case where obviously the purple is my bring this close. Yay. So this is more purple than blue, but pretty little spindle. So this is my Jenkins Lark. And what I have here is Bungalow Farms Merino Angora and Hobbledehoy Batlings in the Gandalf color that I drum carded together to create a combo draft like fiber to spin from. So that made it so that all of the effort of combo drafting was now put on basically the blending step. So that was a fun thing that I ended up doing the week before. So I'll just take my projects and relocate them to the living room in anticipation of everything. I'm going to be needing to vacate the room for a bit, and then maybe figure out if there are how to be places to put stuff, basically. So I have been, or would it be the case where I am contemplating if I want to put a separate project on my reel. It may be the case where I take both things with fiber and be like, I am definitely spinning the other thing separate. That is a distinct possibility. These are very adorable little fiber nuggets. So I may do that, like get the wheel out there, get this other bag of fiber out there and do that. But I think I've just been really focused on stopping the longer one. This one's probably the most aesthetic of the bunch. The other ones are a little bit more subtle. but it will be lovely and fun to spin. And I keep thinking the best plan of action is to play them together eventually. So take my gray ones, take my cool tones, apply them together, because I don't think they're going to make contrasting skeins with how much of the board pool they both have. So that is fine. All is good. But yeah, I think that's what I want to do, because the spinning of it is lovely now. But yeah, I did end up adding my wool gatherings to my fiber stash, so I might find a Ziploc bag to stash that in for the time being. I am really looking forward to spinning it. Would it be that little bit of orange makes it a lot of fun. And then I think from there, then I'll end up having a little bit more brain space from like the must do, whatever, these things that I really want to accomplish, such that so I'll then have brain space from that in order to go ahead and figure out what my next big endeavor will be. Be that spinning, be that knitting, would it be? I know this year has been, I don't know, it feels like it's been a lot of sweaters recently, and I think that has a lot to do with the state of the stash and wanting to get the number of sweater quantities down to a more reasonable level. Feels like it's been more sweaters than usual. And what would it be? So I don't know whether or not, now that I've decreased the pressure there, I will feel more handspun shawl or commercial yarns shawl sort of mood. Still definitely, or would it be the case where a side effect of this work from home pandemic situation is that it turns out I really like wearing socks wherein I wear shoes, and if I'm not leaving the house, I'm not wearing shoes. I'm wearing socks today. Like, we ended up turning on the furnace yesterday. We gave up, it woke up, it was cold. So, what would it be? So when it's 62 in the house, I put on socks, but no guarantee that will happen other times. So yeah, so that's, so I have not been wearing my socks a lot, so I've not been destroying my socks, so my sock drawer is stuffed full of socks. And even if I do destroy my socks, then I darn my socks, and so it feels like either I need to knit socks for other people, but I haven't even felt like knitting socks either. So there's a whole segment of my stash that I'm uninterested in at the moment. And responsibilities for whatever, volunteering to moderate a Ravelry group or whatever. So it's fine. Volunteering doesn't take a whole lot of my time, so that's good. But I do get to laugh at myself a little bit about it, that's all. Let's see. Yeah, no, I feel like, or would it be? So, I think that's everything that I wanted to cover. Odds low on the podcast next week. Odds high for the week after, unless something crazy happens. And what would it be? Life continues on. So, with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.